Hello, anti-novelist Lilligans and friends. I just wanted to pop in. I am currently working on Chapter 7, My Slice of Life, Forms of Short Fiction. And I was working on the introduction to this chapter. And I write about when I ran a writing workshop in 1997, which was actually called The Slice of Life. The publication that we created was called The Slice of Life. So I thought, you know what? This will be fun. Let's go over here to the bookcase and let's have show and tell. I haven't done this in a while, so we'll do that today. Let's get over here to the desk. Hold on one second. Okay, here we go. So let's just pull out, this is a file of, if I can show you, my writing. Just random bits and things I've been involved in, things I've worked on. I was a columnist for Review Magazine, so I had several, this is a cover story that I did called Zine, More Than Just a Four-Letter Word, which is about independent publications. So that was something I did back in the day, but that's not what I want to show you. The thing I want to show you is, come on. So this group, oh, here we go. This group and myself got together and we thought, you know, how much fun would it be? Many of these women either had been teachers or had been writers, and they were all in independent living. So they lived in cottages and little bungalows, but in a community. And so we got this crazy idea. My grandma lived there too. My grandma ran housekeeping for years. It's a whole thing. My whole family at one time or another worked there. But we got this wacky idea. Let's start a writers group, because at that time I was teaching at the University of Missouri, Kansas City, writing. I was also teaching in the Communiversity program, which is a community program for writers. I was just teaching writing all over the place. And I was also one of the leaders in the Kansas City Free Speech Coalition. So we were having regular events around different writing retreats and writers groups. I mean, this was a major thread through that whole 10 year period of my life. So anyway, the reason this is relevant to you is because check it out. It is our Slice of Life newsletter. How awesome is that? So myself and these amazing ladies, which, oh my gosh, pictures. I forgot there's pictures. Me and these amazing ladies got together. You can see there's an exercise bike behind her. Like, this was literally the library, the exercise room, a de facto office. I mean, we had everything downstairs in our little room. But this was our little group. And we would hang out and workshop our stories. And sometimes we had readings. There was a beautiful chapel where, at Armour Home, which is where we were, there was a beautiful chapel because it was an old Gothic Tudor style building that the Women's Christian Association had founded as a home at that point in time for children and then for women, and then it became retirement, and the rest is history. So anyway, it was so cool to meet with these ladies every week. We would meet on one week, submit our short stories for the following week. We would workshop all of our stories. And then when we met the next time, we would give it the final stamp of approval. And then we would pirate the office copy machine, which is hilarious. And we would put our little publication together. And it went out to the families. It went to the other residents. We were picked up by, oh my gosh, there was a newspaper. Oh, look, I have the clipping. I forgot I saved all this stuff. This is, what's it called? Look. There we are, all in our hats. I'm always the tall one in the back. Too funny. It was called the Wednesday Magazine. So we had a little write-up about us and our little Slice of Life writing group, which we did for a year, and wrote all of our stories, put our publications together. So we ended up with 53 because we did one a week, and then we did kind of a finale, thanked everyone for their time and their efforts and energy. And then we kind of all went our separate ways. Of course, now all of these ladies, as far as I am aware, have passed. But one of the cool things that I kept is like our notes, our writing notes. I kept their original drafts. And it's been kind of funny because over the years, I have run across some of the younger relatives, like the grandchildren of these people. And I was able to give their grandparents writing, like their rough drafts and their finished drafts, back to them. So the reason I share this with you is two things. Number one, you never know where the journey of writing is going to take you, but it always takes you someplace special. I absolutely promise you that. If you invest your time and your energy in these kinds of projects, whether it's just writing in your journal every day or capturing your thoughts in your note cards, and I say this, man, do I wish I would have had the esteemed Kathleen Sprecklin, the amazing Scott Scheper, and the Zettelkasten system to share with these ladies. It would have been an absolute hilarious free-for-all. We would have had a blast. But that's okay, because we had an absolute freaking blast anyway. Every week, getting sugared up on tea and cookies that Loretta from the kitchen would bring down to us on these big trays just piled with stuff. We'd get all sugared up, and then we would just talk about the craft of writing and the craft of stories. So that is the first reason, is whatever you're doing with your writing projects, you're creating a legacy, even if it's just a small thing, even if it's just a journal that you keep, or if you're keeping a Zettelkasten. This is something that people later on will look at and have that little piece of you to hold on to. I believe writing is very much a legacy pleasure, a legacy pursuit. So get in there and do it. And then the second reason I share this with you is don't get rid of your drafts, people. Please don't get rid of your writing. I sat in a writer's group last Saturday where one of our participants, I'm looking at you, Kit, said when she's finished drafting something and she's gotten the use out of those materials, she just gets rid of them. She doesn't see a need for keeping them, which, depending on the kind of writer that you are, I can understand that perspective, because if you're done with the drafting and you're done with the research, you don't need those items necessarily. So I get it, but I am not that kind of writer. I keep all of my drafts, all of my journals. I don't know if you can see over there, that little file cabinet right there with the flowers and the green juice sitting on it. And that on top of it is a very old copy of John Milton's Paradise Lost. That little file cabinet is full of journals that literally go back 20 years. I have journals and notebooks going all the way back to the 6th grade when Miss Alsop gave us an assignment to start a journal. She had us start in a little spiral notebook, a daily journal practice. And I think, if I remember right, I think we had to write 2 sentences a day. I'll bet you it's over in that cabinet, but I'm going to save that for later. Consider that a teaser if I can find my first journal. I bet it's over there. But now when I look back at those things, yes, some of the writing is absolutely horrible. It will never see the light of day, nor the public. But I can see my journey as a writer. I can see my thoughts develop. I can see my style develop. And for me, that's very interesting. So if you are inclined to value those little things and to want to follow your journey as a writer, keep your drafts. Because I tell you what, guys, having this sweet folder full of all of these notes, and oh my gosh, this lady, this was Princess Catherine Karaja. She was smuggled out of Romania by a group of American servicemen, and she came to live at the home where we were. I have her book. It's over there on the bookcase, Princess Karaja's story of how she escaped Romania and was able to come and live in the United States as a free woman. Amazing stuff, guys. So save your drafts. Do me a favor. Save your drafts. Tuck them away in a folder. Tuck them away on a bookcase. And know that someday down the line, somebody is going to find those things and smile because they have that little piece of you. So that's today's book update. I've written about 1,100 words. Again, like I said, I'm tightening up chapter 7. I've written the introduction to the short fiction section. I'm making great progress. My little standing desk over there is really a game changer for me. I'm so much more productive because I have a dedicated space, and only the things to write this book for you live over there on that desk, nothing else. So I sit down, I get focused, I get right to work. Game changer. So that's where I am. As always, thank you to every single subscriber. I am so grateful for you. And I say it all the time, but it's the truth. I'm so grateful to have you and your questions and your curiosity and your enthusiasm with me on this journey. On the days when the writing is hard, I think of you guys and I show up. And on the days when it's easy and it's flowing, I think of you guys and I just knock it out of the park, because I want to get this book in your hands so that you can do your writing. That's the goal. So let's get after it. It's about 4 o'clock here in the Midwest. I've got 2 writing sprints left in me, and then I've got to get dinner on. So I'm going to hunker down over there at the stand-up desk, where I'll be standing, not sitting, and get my words done. That's it for today. I will see you all tomorrow.